G'day viewers, I want to put this the Breville cord on this now. This is still a pretty good nick, this cord. It's still perfectly safe. It's all the right colour coding that's up to date. Because it's so old school styling, it's more flexible. I want to use that on this radio because there's not much give in these sorts of cords, modern cords in these radios. In terms of stress relief, there isn't much that's going to go loose in there and short out, so I'm going to use one of these soft cords. It's going to be soft on it. It won't be so hard under the chassis, it's going to be stiff, so yeah. Put the original GEC plug top that came with it back on it. Do you like this old plug top? Quite nice. General Electric Company. Made in England. There's a nice plug top, very solid too. Just another bit of caution when you're doing old plug tops, make sure they're in good nick, and when you are them up, don't leave any copper hanging out when you put them back together, because they've just got the screw that clamps around. You just wrap the wiring around the screw and screw it on to connect the wiring. Make sure your wiring doesn't stick out the side when you put the plug top back together. I just got a bit of rubber sticking out from the previous cord that was on it. Bit of fabric actually. Got some fabric sticking out of it from this cord. Anyway, let's get this thing apart and put this much better cord on it. This cord's too stiff and too modern. Looks ugly on this. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I just realised this thing has an aluminium chassis, not a steel one. Lightweight aluminium. Yeah, aluminium chassis. I didn't realise that. Astor were known to not really known to cut costs, so a pretty well a good manufacturer. Them and AWA were pretty high, probably the highest quality of the two manufacturers of radios in Australia. But at least to cut costs, so at least this one used a aluminium chassis. But at least electronically, they didn't substitute miniature valves or anything like that, or use crappier components, which is good that they didn't do that. Been a while since I worked in my last radio. But I'm going to take this out again. It's not too hard to do that. This will be much better under there. And in there. Perfect. Yeah, this cord's much less, you can see that's all hitting things. This won't do so much of that. Anyway, let's get replacing this one with a better cord. This, as I said, they're still perfectly safe, still the current standard colour coding. This cord is still perfectly safe, so it's an old school cord. Will suit this radio better. They go well together. As I said, this one is just too heavy duty. Look who dropped by. Hey kitty, puss puss puss. Whiskers, puss puss puss. Anyway, it's all been done. Much better. That's better. Much better. That looks much better. If I can have a little thinner go in there even, then clamp it, it'd be nice, but there's nothing on this chassis to hold it in there. And just tuck it in there like that. Perfect. Look at that. Give it a good run. I haven't run it in a while. It's on. All nice and warmed up. Audio starting to come through. I forgot this thing doesn't have a power button, you've got to use a power point. Or 5Y3G rectifier. rattling there. Finally, I can come up with some sort of rubber. I could just paint over that, and it could stitch itself onto the cone of the speaker. That'd be nice. I won't get the shortwave because it's daytime. Damn, those edges are sharp. Ouch.
$5.50 into $5. The Army. Over to race 2. Spanish Love hit even money into $1.95.
I do love seeing those filaments go on these 5-way Fijis. 4-way rectifier. I had a pair of pliers here, I just use this. Change the band, I'm not going to get anything there. Shortwave now. I'm not going to get anything because there's no antenna, and it's in the daytime. Yeah. The daytime shortwave, you don't get nothing. But I'll try anyway. I reckon I'll get a Chinese station, that's about it. Because China pretty much dominates the shortwave band these days. Where's my aerial? Yeah, that's right. Forgot about that. Been a while.
In his country, targeted possible accomplices in the attacks that killed 17 people in Paris last week.
Well, that'll be Radio Australia. So that's near Shepparton, I think. Watch Michael Phillips. He's got a he lives near the Radio Australia station, so he has a video on his channel showing a tour around that place. But it broadcasts all over the Southern Hemisphere. So I think it's 17 kilowatts or something. So yeah, broadcasts all over the Southern Hemisphere in the Pacific. You go drop there. Yeah.
To share expertise on tackling domestic extremism.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking
I'm pretty sure it's BBC. They do BBC and the Radio Australia as well.
Prime Minister David Cameron. So
yeah.
join.
They broadcast this sort of thing in Radio Australia. Dropped out again. Anyway. That'll be enough for now. Thanks for watching.